Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, in the midst of this upcoming 2024 presidential election that's going to take place in the US in a few days, I took the opportunity to make this video to analyze some historical data about the results of the election through the years. So, if you're interested to learn how I managed to do that using Python and Streamlit, just keep on watching. All right, so before analyzing anything, we obviously need some data. So the data I'm going to extract today is from two tables found on Wikipedia. So the first one being the results of the election by state, and the second one being the actual national results. So for both of these cases, I'm using the read HTML method from the Pandas library and doing some cleaning on the data to have a final output, which looks like this here. So we have the state, which includes the national results, the year of the election, the winner party, and the elected president. So this is the data we're going to use in just a moment. So first plot that we have here is a heat map representing the winning parties for each state and by election year. Now, of course, since my data goes all the way back to the first US election in 1789, where only the first 13 states existed, that's why you see some blank spaces here. You can clearly see that as early as the 1860s, the two party system composed of the Democrats and the Republicans began to take place all across the US, as you can see here. Another interesting thing that we can see here with this data is that the Democrats seem to be very popular during the 1930s and 1940s. This is most likely caused by the then President Roosevelt's response on the Great Depression and the World War II. So we see a similar pattern with the Republicans, this time during the 1980s, which were President Reagan's years during the Cold War, namely. One very distinct element we can observe here is the impact of Donald Trump in the 2016 election, which persuade three historically Democratic states for the past 30 or so years. So Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin to vote for Republicans during the 2016 election. We can also pinpoint some swing states like Florida that you can see here, or Georgia, or I think Ohio is one here. Yeah, this one here. So, where predictions of the outcomes are pretty hard to establish up until the day of the election. The upcoming 2024 election is not excluded from this rule, of course. So to create this heat map, it is pretty simple. I first created a numeric version of the result variable that I had earlier and added a hover text variable for display on the map, as you can see here. Then I used the Plotly Graph Objects library, which includes a heat map method, as you can see here, to create the actual heat map. So you basically have to specify the Z, X, and Y axis with the specific variables to display the heat map. Then finally, I display the plot in Streamlit with the Plotly chart. So this is how I created this heat map here. The second plot I created is very similar to the first one, but this time I wanted to actually highlight the left party wins versus the right party wins over the years and for each state. So to do so, actually let me go down directly to the code. So here I divided each party into either a left or right wing party and gave each win a -1 for left wing and +1 for right wing. Then I summed up each year one by one in a cumulative manner to obtain a score for each year. So this is what I did here. Then I simply applied a color gradient where negative values are blue for left wing and positive values are red for right wing. So this is what you see actually here. Oh, and as for the code to create the heat map itself, it is again very similar to the previous one. It is basically the same with some tweaking. So with this heat map, so first thing we observe here is that some states are clearly left wing tending, while others more right wing tending, which is not a shocker, of course. Now, to make the analysis make a bit more sense, I'll reduce the timeline to the last 30 years. Again, we can clearly see some of the swing states. We have Florida here or Ohio, where the pale colors represent the fact that cumulatively the party wins tend towards the center of the political spectrum, so neither left or right, depending of the election year. So this is basically what you can extract from this heat map. The last plot I created is actually a compilation of wins by state through the years in a map format. So just before playing the 6-second montage, let's see how I created this. So here I first imported the state's geometries using the GeoPandas library and merged this dataset to the original dataset that I had earlier, which resulted in this output here. So here we have, of course, the geometries of the states with the information about the election results. Then I looped on each year of the elections to create a two-component plot, first for Alaska and Hawaii only, and the other one with the continental US only. So since I only wanted a static map, I used the GeoPandas plot method to create these maps. And I finally saved all these images here and created a GIF, which I displayed here with the video component from Streamlit. So let's see how this looks like. It is very interesting to see the plurality of parties back then. Um, and also how for some election years the results were tending towards almost exclusively to one party. This is very different, as you can see here today. Uh, it is very divided. Anyways, I'm looking forward to actually see the results of this 2024 election, which I feel like this was one of the most talked about election in the recent years. But for now, we'll just have to wait a couple of days more. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.